Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Server Room. I'm Nandini, your host for the podcast, the Enterprise IT podcast by Manage Engine, where we talk a lot about innovation, technology, and leadership, and how all of these things are actually revolving or revolutionizing IT as we know it today. So today we're joined by Vijay Velayutham, who is the Principal Information Security Officer at the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Good to
Okay.
be here on this show and looking forward to discuss on all the topics that are probably the most relevant in the world today.
Right, right. So you work at the ministry, and how is that? How has that been?
It's been a tremendous experience working for the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, and I'm interested with handling the governance, risk management, and compliance of the ministry in terms of looking at the various emerging regulations, in terms of making sure policies are in place, in
Okay.
terms of developing a strategy that is in line with the organizational strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a tremendous learning curve for me.
Perfect, perfect. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how has your career trajectory been?
Yeah, so I started off my career back in 2001 as a software developer,
Mm-hmm.
working on Visual Basic and Oracle 7, which
Okay.
were the cutting edge technologies back in time.
Right.
And a few years into that, I actually took up project management and then more of system analysis. And back in 2007, when there was a regulatory requirement from the Emirates
Mm-hmm.
Securities and Commodities Authority, who are the regulatory body for all stock brokerage houses. That's when I got into security. They had a list of security requirements to be incorporated,
Okay.
and I started working on that. Those requirements, fulfilling those requirements from DMAC properties, who
Okay.
also have a DMAC stock brokerage house.
Oh,
DMAC
interesting.
Securities, it was called.
Right.
So I did that part of a project, and that's when I got fascinated with security. And
Okay. Okay.
back in time, I decided to take that plunge into full-time security, and I have not had a dull day in my life.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. So, what was that one moment that actually motivated you to switch your career into security full time?
Well, I believe that the pen testing was one of the requirements back in time, where we had to do a complete penetration testing of our public facing application.
Right.
And I was interfacing with the actual service provider who did the pen testing. And then, as I reviewed that pen test report, I was fascinated with all the findings.
Oh,
And I
okay.
thought this is fun.
Oh,
So
okay.
initially, my interest was on penetration testing and vulnerability assessment, what we call as PTVA.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I did my CISSP back in time, I think I was more and more fascinated with many aspects of security, many different domains within security.
Right, right. That's interesting. So while I was actually researching you for the podcast, I saw that you worked with Maersk, and as a child, I used to travel a lot. While in the train with my family, and I saw these huge shipping containers with like branded as Maersk. So I wanted to know, like, how do they have such a global presence?
So when I worked with Maersk back in 2014 to 2017,
Mm-hmm.
they had four major business units. One was Maersk Shipping and Logistics. The other one was Maersk Oil.
Ah,
The third one
okay.
was Maersk Drilling. And the fourth one was APM terminals. They operated terminals all across the world. So they had like four sort of related domains, but independent business units. And it was during my tenure that they decided to completely focus on the shipping and logistics. And
Mm-hmm.
they have been the leaders when it comes to container shipping. So it
Right,
was a
right.
amazing experience working for them out of their HQ in Copenhagen,
Okay, okay.
and a lovely atmosphere, great colleagues to work with, and plenty of things to learn because we had a presence in 180 countries.
Right, yeah.
110 of them had technology footprint. So imagine working for a conglomerate with 110 countries, presence in 110 countries, getting their log data into our
Yeah.
security monitoring center, and then analyzing those logs and then reporting to the management what was going wrong and what were the risks. So it was an
Right.
amazing
Right.
experience.
So you were into security while you were at Maersk as well.
Yeah, I was part of the security monitoring center team,
Okay.
and we were based in the headquarters, and we had to look at log data and analyze log data from across the globe.
Wow. And you still don't have specs.
I
How is
have
that
a
possible?
I have a trick. I pretty much insist on two large monitors wherever I join.
Okay.
That's kind of
Okay.
my like my the first day at my job. I make sure
Okay.
that there are those large monitors,
Nice.
and I also follow good hygiene when it
Mm-mm-mm.
comes to maintaining the eyes.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
try to do my bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, I haven't, but okay. All right. And then you also worked with Do, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, so whenever I come to Dubai, it's always like Do everywhere, and they're actually really good. So I actually use Geo when I'm in India, and when I come here, I activate the international roaming plan for Geo, and then it immediately switches to Do. So how do they have like? It's quite difficult monitoring such a huge network, right? So how is it there? Like that time also you were into security.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
was actually working as part of the Smart Dubai platform,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is actually a unit that sits between Dubai Digital Authority and Do. So
Oh,
our
okay.
team was tasked with getting all the confidential, sensitive, and secret data sets of all the Dubai government entities, and we are talking about 27.8 billion data sets. So my role was to protect those data sets, make sure that the right policies were in place. We had enough security controls, and we had a continuous ongoing audit which ensured that those data sets were well protected
Right.
and that the team members were all following the policies. So that was my role within
Okay.
Do.
Wow, wow. So you worked with a lot of brands, as I can see. So what was that one common pattern that you actually figured out while your work as a security officer there?
So, what I have realized is that when you deal with multiple stakeholders, especially stakeholders from multiple verticals within the business, stakeholder management is key. In fact, my experience with Maersk taught me that stakeholder management is as important as technology or security skills.
Right.
They are probably one of the most important soft skills because you need to balance those stakeholders' needs and expectations. And many a times, as a security specialist, we have to ensure that they see us as part of their team. The moment they perceive us as being outside the team and they have this mindset of us versus them, then everything goes for a toss. They do not collaborate with us. They're not open, and that's where we need to assure that we are all on the same team, and we are here to make a difference when it comes to security.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
a long and well researched subject. There have been books written on stakeholder management.
Okay,
So
okay.
my company, as well as the previous company, which is Novo Nordisk, they actually gave me specific workshops and specific training related to stakeholder management.
Right,
How
right.
to move actually the difficult stakeholders. So they put stakeholders in four quadrants. The ones which are your partners and who are actively working with you, they are at the top quadrant.
Okay.
And then there is the quadrant who are willing to work with you, but they have other priorities. So you need to gently nudge them and
Push
request
them,
them.
yeah,
The
yeah.
third quadrant is the indifferent one. Those who
Oh.
receive your email and then they don't respond to you, and if you have an initiative, they may not be willing to. They just ignore. And the fourth quadrant is the last and the dangerous one, which is they're actively working to undermine your
Against, yeah,
projects.
yeah.
So it's about identifying which stakeholder is in which quadrant and then try to move them all to the top quadrant.
Wow.
So it's an art and a science in itself. It needs a lot of negotiation. It needs a lot of people skills,
Right,
and
right.
you need to be able to talk their language because as the business they have their own priorities, and you need to
Correct.
be able to understand those priorities and translate security to align with those priorities.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I was talking to Ahmad from the previous episode, and he was mentioning how different teams in an organization work in silos, and it's technically not very, you know, helpful to the organization on a whole, because the whole point of an organization is to be an organization and work together. And that's how we actually mentioned about how security can actually have metrics that can be translated into the business side as well, so that the stakeholders will understand it better.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. So there's a lot of buzz around AI governance and what it is. So according to me, it's just something that involves legalities into AI that you use every day. Am I right, or where's the line?
You're partially right. That involves the legal angle to it, but there is much more to it.
Okay.
There is a whole spectrum of processes and activities and focus areas that you need to include when it comes to AI governance. So, AI governance is that area which intersects technology, ethics, corporate governance,
Okay, okay.
responsible social and what we call as CSR, corporate social responsibility, and legal. So all these things are at interplay within AI governance.
Right, right.
So here we are talking about having a solid business case for an AI systems to start with, because you should not be implementing AI just for the heck of implementing AI. As they say, AI for the sake of AI. So every business case, as we know, should have a solid business value. So there is the cost and there is the benefit. So that's the same for AI system as well.
Right,
So AI governance takes care of the AI use cases and profitability and return on investment aspect, and pretty much everything throughout, including things like discrimination and bias being taken care of,
right, yeah.
privacy of individuals being respected,
Right, right.
and safety of AI systems, making sure that AI systems are explainable and that we are able to audit. Even for a decision that was made 6 months ago, we should be able to go back and audit the AI system to kind of break it down to what led to that decision. So it's a whole massive area within AI systems.
Yeah.
And what I have observed based on my experience so far is that AI governance is one of the least focused
Prioritized.
areas at the moment
Yeah.
for various reasons.
Yeah.
And probably it's one of the most important. And so I always talk about the elephant in the AI room being AI governance.
Ah, yeah. It actually makes sense because the speed at which the technology is developing, I'm not sure if the legalities of that is, equal to the pace at which AI is growing. And teams have to actively take a step towards this, even organizations, I would say. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's also one of the challenges where AI systems and technologies are rapidly progressing,
Yeah.
whereas we have a timeline for introducing regulations.
Yeah.
Usually, regulations take about 18 to 24 months from the
Okay.
time a technology is introduced to the time that we actually see a regulation that covers that area.
Okay.
Whereas in AI systems evolve or progress at a rate of 3 to 6 months. Many a times we come across the AI white paper, which was written 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It seems like it's an
Outdated,
archive,
yeah.
it's outdated, and it's probably not that relevant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's where the challenge is, trying to regulate a technology that is tremendously evolving and growing as we speak. So that's where one of the challenges is.
So, can you use AI to actually kind of take steps towards AI governance?
Yes, possible to do that, provided there is this human in the loop.
Ah, okay.
So the AI system can govern itself provided there is a human oversight.
Okay.
Now we know that AI systems, as popular they are and as useful and relevant they are, at the same time we need a human element to be able to make sure that the AI system, more than anything, benefits the humans.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you have the concept of human in the loop, which is a central governing theme
Yeah.
around AI decision making, especially when it comes to law enforcement, when it comes to credit availability to individuals,
Okay,
when
okay.
it comes to things like social or even employment screening,
Right,
right?
right.
So those are the critical AI systems that need to be governed with human in the loop. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
good to drive things with AI, provided that they have a proper oversight of how well or how poorly the AI system is doing.
Yeah, makes sense. So, adaptive governance is something that comes up in context with Gen AI, because Gen AI does not have any rigid rules as an LLM could probably have. But, like, what is adaptive governance, and is it actually in practice right now?
Yes, there has been a tremendous focus by the big players on adaptive governance. The fact that we have continuous learning, what we call as feedback loop,
Yeah.
right? So the feedback loop ensures that the kind of inputs that we give, and there is the response from the AI system. That response itself is rated. So that is what is called reinforcement learning,
Yeah.
right? So when we talk about such concepts, it is so important to make sure that even our governance model is in line with continuously adopting AI performance. So for a traditional system, you have a set of inputs, and you have the processing, and then you have the outputs,
Yeah.
which is pretty much a one-to-one mapping. So things don't go wrong. Things cannot take an unpredictable route. Whereas for an AI system, the fact that we wanted to continually learn and adapt and hopefully get better at what it does means that even the governance has to be continually adapting,
Yeah.
making sure that if there is a severe error or malfunction by the AI system, that also is actually included in terms of correction, in terms of mitigating it, in terms of incident management. So that's the concept of adaptive governance.
Ah, okay, okay. So it is in practice.
Yes, it is very much in practice, and it's a moving target as we speak.
Right,
Many large organizations, which are into full-fledged AI and LLM models, they are more and more striving towards adaptive governance. In fact, if you look at any of the usual LLM or Gen AI tools, you have the concept of providing feedback on
Yeah.
every response from
Yeah,
the AI system. That's part of adaptive governance because they want to know, did we actually do well on this particular interaction.
Yeah, yeah. So talking about interactions, a lot of children these days are using AI, right? It could be just someone that they want that they should listen to, and a lot of these conversations are actually being held accountable of provoking the children to do something that they probably should not or should not, like not introduce that into their life. So who should be held accountable in terms of situations like this? The AI, the human, what is supposed to be held accountable?
Yeah, so the AI accountability as a concept is one huge area. Thankfully, there are some, let's say, overall high-level principles that you can implement,
Right.
and then it comes down to the AI system.
Okay.
The general rule of thumb is that the organization which utilizes the AI system should hold the bulk of the responsibility, bulk
Okay.
of the accountability.
Okay.
Let's take the example of a school that you mentioned. Let's say that the school introduces AI chatbot, which guides students on all things related to studies, right? So there is the AI developer who actually developed that product as a LLM or any kind of a underlying model, and then there is the school who is the organization which decided to implement the AI system, and then there are the end users, the
Yeah.
subjects,
Yeah. There's one
right?
more part. The data that is actually fed into the model. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk about the data being fed into the model, again, data privacy becomes a huge
Correct.
area.
Yeah.
So you need AI systems to actually consume huge volumes of data, and we all know that AI systems are very hungry
Yeah.
when it comes to data.
Yeah.
At the same time, what kind of data do you feed? Is the data that was being fed to the model during the training phase, did it comply with various privacy regulations like GDPR or PDPL of the UAE?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this comes into the question. So once you have even the concept of data privacy being taken care of and the system has gone live, and then there is a situation where the AI system suggests something to the student which should not have been suggested, and there is an impact.
Right.
So let's say that we have an AI incident, then who should be blamed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So here it comes down to the school who is the primary responsible party,
Okay.
because they are the ones who decided to implement the AI system. So they should have done their due diligence. They should have looked at all the risk scenarios that can be actualized. On the other hand, even the AI developer has a responsibility. Did they conduct adequate testing?
Yeah.
Did they go through a proper risk assessment of what could go wrong with the AI system? And thirdly, also the technology team of the school who actually did the installation and who actually do the configuration and change management, they also have a responsibility to play.
Right, right.
And last but not the least, the parents should have a role to play because they should be knowing what their children are interacting with,
Yeah.
what kind of system. If it is an AI system, they have every right to approach the school to ask for more details. Things like whether the model itself is reliable, has it been tested,
Yeah.
has due diligence been done for the AI system? So it's really a massive, I would say, chain of accountability with specific focus on the AI user, the one who actually decided to implement the AI system shares the bulk of the responsibility and accountability.
Right, right. So it's a lot actually about people not being the black box themselves and actually being aware of what is happening around them. So only if they're aware that proper adequate testing needs to be done for a model will they be in a position to ask that question to the school authority, right? They cannot sit in a corner and be like, oh, that's an AI model and that's the one that's to be blamed.
Right.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So, does audits come into play here? Like when you build a model, if a company is making a decision to build a model, how do they navigate through this audit story?
So there are things like explainability, auditability, and logging,
Okay.
right? So when you have an AI system, especially one that takes important decisions on behalf of the organization which has implemented it, there has to be a series of things that have to be properly done. The first and foremost is adequate testing and validation should have been done. That's during the development phase. But then when they have chosen to implement it, there has to be a logging of every decision, the important decisions that have been made by the AI system, along with the outcome,
Okay.
right? And it should also be explainable. Explainability of AI system, also called as XAI, is probably one of the most complex subjects because here we are talking about an AI system making a decision today, and 6 months down the line, we need to be able to come back
Explain, yeah.
and challenge that decision and be able to break into the logic
Yeah.
of why that decision was taken.
Right.
So it's easier said than done to implement this in
Yeah.
practice because we know that AI systems by nature, they use a huge set of data points. Massive data points are being used that drive every single decision that is taken.
Right.
So that's where the challenge is to actually drill down and go to this level and say that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors were what caused this decision to be taken by the AI system.
Right.
That's what we are
Right.
looking at.
So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 metrics that you mentioned, what could they be?
So when we talk about metrics, I usually like to categorize them into at least three categories. The first one is the technical metrics
Okay.
in terms of how good the AI system is performing with respect to the data points that it was tested against. Then we have the set of metrics on the ethics, discrimination, and bias.
Can we measure that?
Yes, it should be
Yeah.
possible to measure.
Okay. Okay.
So those are some of the metrics, and the third category of metrics is the operational metrics.
Right.
So when it comes to bias, discrimination being mitigated and being measured, we have various ways to measure it. So we could have a random audit which selects, let's say, the X percentage of decisions made by an AI system, and then challenge it to actually see if it was actually relevant and is it something that a human would have done.
Yeah.
Because what we have observed in even large organizations like Amazon, Amazon once implemented AI screening system
Okay.
that screened applicants for job
Yeah.
interviews,
Yeah.
for
It
job
backlashed, I
potential
think.
job
Yeah.
positions,
Yeah.
and it was a massive failure because
Yes.
there was a discrimination.
Yeah.
So imagine they actually did a proper audit towards the beginning of the system implementation, towards the first few weeks and months.
Okay.
So they were able to actually flag this discriminatory behavior
Okay.
and they were able to quickly shut down. But
Yeah.
imagine that there was no audit and it goes on for a couple of years, and then later on, people realize that it has always been biased.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that's where we need to have metrics that can actually indicate the clear levels of deviation or drift that happens, or in situations where the AI system is discriminating against a certain social group.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So does reinforcement learning come into play here?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
Reinforcement learning is where we have the concept of you have the traditional machine learning algorithms, which actually have a set of data points, massive set of data points on which they base their decisions. And reinforcement learning is one step, let's say, more intelligent than that,
Okay.
wherein you're giving constant feedback and making sure that the AI system is able to learn based on its past performance. And when I say
Right.
past, it could be even the last interaction that you had.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. So, one of the biggest risks to AI today is transparency and security, as you mentioned. But with quantum computing coming into picture here, how do you see that evolving?
So, quantum computing and AI, they are probably two of the most disruptive technologies as of today.
Yeah.
AI has been that in that space for at least a good part of 4 5 years, and quantum is quickly taking a sort of a lead in that space as well.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about post quantum cryptography and how and why it is necessary to look at it as a priority and why it is becoming a boardroom level priority at the moment, is because of the severe existential risks that it is posing currently.
Okay.
So, we are talking about systems, especially those which are using asymmetric algorithms. They are being, there's a chance that they will become vulnerable once the post quantum, the quantum computing takes a really meaningful
Right.
shape.
Right.
Now, even today, there are quantum computers which exist. It is just that the level and complexity and the strength of the computing power of the AI or the quantum systems do not have justify being able to break into encryption systems.
Okay.
So we are talking about qubits
Right.
of a few dozens which are existing now.
Okay.
But what we need to be able to be cryptographically relevant, to be able to break into cryptographic algorithms, is about 1,000, probably 2,000 qubits.
Right.
And
Right.
so as the research develops,
Sorry, but what are qubits?
yeah, so traditionally you have the concept of bits and bytes.
Yeah.
So we know that the basic of computing as we know today is the concept of binary algorithms or binary what we call as mathematics. So every bit can be either one or zero,
Zero.
right? Either it is a one or zero. Whereas in quantum computing, a bit can technically be in one of infinite number of states.
Okay.
Anything from
Okay.
0 to 1, including 0 and 1, and anything in
Okay.
between.
Okay. 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 Got it.
So you have the capability of translating, of computing in powers which are orders of magnitude higher than what we have.
Okay. Okay.
So using conventional computers, you need at least 10,000 years to break into a cryptographic algorithm which exists today. Whereas with a quantum relevant, a quantum computer, you could do it in a matter of minutes.
Okay. Okay.
So you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
you can see the massive ways that it will impact.
That's right. That's right. So sticking with quantum, what do you think will reach enterprises first? Is it going to be optimization, simulation, or cryptography?
So the good part about optimization, and that's why I believe optimization will reach first, is that it needs even a small percentage of improvement and enhancement in the way that we do things today.
Okay.
There have already been successful experiments which have resulted in quantum computers contributing to a small percentage of improvement
Okay.
in an existing system.
Right.
And if the existing system is dealing with billions or millions of data points or even dollar values, you can see that even a 0.1 percentage of $1 billion you can see that it's something meaningful.
Yeah.
So I believe optimization will reach first, followed by cryptography will probably the last one.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I believe optimization, even now we have successful use cases
Okay.
of optimization, talking about whether it is traffic analyzing and monitoring, whether it is financial forecasting. I think optimization will arrive first.
Okay. Okay. But why do you say cryptography is going to be the last?
Because there are lots of factors that need to fall in place before the quantum cryptography takes center stage
Okay.
to the point of being commercially viable. So I believe research is being done, and it's being done in a massive scale. But even before that breakthrough happens, we are going to see the optimizations kick in.
Okay. Okay. So to actually position these optimizations, what do you think should be the first change that organizations should adopt?
Speaking from organizations' perspective, they've already had a tremendous learning curve. If you look back 10 years ago, things were about digital transformation. That's when it
Yeah.
all started.
Yeah.
Digital transformation, then cloud adoption, big data, data science, data analysis, right? And then came the AI moment.
Yeah.
So organizations have had a tremendous learning curve over the last 10 years.
Okay.
And
Okay.
now we are having to ask them to look at quantum and post quantum.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that they have to do, one of the most important things that they need to do is probably to adopt their thinking and to take up this line of thought that quantum computers are here to stay.
Yeah.
They are going to be game changers in ways that even AI could probably, it can be matched, or it can be even it can be surpassed by what AI has done. So the most important thing is the mindset that quantum is not just a speculative technology breakthrough that might happen in the future. It is to embrace the idea that quantum is here to stay, and it is here and now that they need to plan ahead.
Interesting. So, if you say that they are going to stay here, a lot of companies will have legacy systems that they work with. So, if they have to adopt quantum resilient software into their organization, what do you think would be the first challenge they'll have to deal with?
Well, they need to have a roadmap to
Okay.
migrate legacy systems, because many of the legacy systems, they may not even have cryptography at all. If at all they have cryptography, it might be an algorithm which is massively outdated.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now we are talking about being completely outdated to completely brand new
Right.
in terms of key lengths, in terms of algorithms themselves, in terms of the standards themselves. So first and foremost, I would advise organizations to have a realistic visibility of their infrastructure and technology footprint, to see what kind of systems are they using.
Okay.
And in terms of a quantum readiness perspective, here we are talking about quantum agility, the ability to swap out algorithms without disrupting systems.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how good are they when it comes to cryptographic agility? And which are the legacy systems? What are the most high priority systems that need to be migrated first?
Okay.
So, they need to have a realistic visibility of that, and then develop a roadmap based on that visibility.
Right, right. So if quantum is here to stay again, how do you think the monopoly of organizations is going to evolve? Because it can't be that if organizations are in a position to take quantum into their organization, the whole monopoly and the whole power lies in their hands. It should not be that case, right? So how does governance come into place here, and how do they coexist?
Governance of quantum
Yeah.
systems coupled with AI systems is probably the most complex domain, because here we are talking about not just enterprises and the big players, the Amazons, the IBMs, the Googles. Here we are actually talking about nations.
Yeah, of
So
course.
they are already discussing. It's been a good few years that we have been talking about quantum arms race,
Yeah, yeah.
because countries want to develop quantum ability, the ability to have cryptographically relevant computer systems. and it's a highly secretive area. Countries do not share where they are when it comes to the quantum race.
Okay.
The major powers of that we see today, they do not share their position on where they have reached, and so trying to govern becomes increasingly complex. However, the good part is that when it comes to private companies, when it comes to organizations that are governable by the governments,
Yeah.
there are steps that can be taken.
Okay.
And unfortunately, so far, I have not seen any tangible governance when it comes to the ability to develop and launch quantum systems.
Okay.
For instance, requirements to share quantum expertise or common standards that allow the quantum systems to work together.
Right.
I have not
Right.
seen such an initiative by the governments, but it is very much doable. And I think we are going to see more and more regulation and governance around that area.
Right.
But
Interesting.
who governs the countries is something anybody's guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. This is a new kind of world war.
I've already come across some of my colleagues, some of my peers in the industry. So you have got two very good friends in the same team in cybersecurity, and suddenly one gets moved to the post quantum project,
Okay. Okay.
and then he or she becomes completely secretive. It's a high secret, high sensitive, high
Yeah. Yeah.
confidential project that they don't want even to discuss. So that's where we are heading.
Right. Right. So, will quantum computing also play a role in GRC, like governance, risk, and compliance? Will it? Do you think that's where it's heading, or is it going to be something completely different?
So there is an interesting interplay between AI and quantum,
Okay.
right? As we speak now, AI systems are being used to
Widely.
lead the research into quantum systems, quantum computing.
Yeah. Okay.
And when the quantum breakthrough happens, quantum systems will actually make AI systems a million times more powerful than they are today.
Okay.
So imagine a quantum powered AI system
Hmm.
with the ability to handle huge volumes of information and be able to take that decision in a split second that probably would need 1,000 human beings to do. That's
Yeah.
what we are
Yeah.
looking at. At the same time, what kind of a risk are we talking about? Quantum AI systems, that is, AI systems powered by quantum computing with the power of having being able to take decisions
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and that's where human have to go to the next level, because now we are talking about human in the loop when it comes to AI systems.
Right.
But when we have that age of AI systems powered by quantum, we would not have we would not be able to have human in the loop as it stands today. The flavor that we have, where a human interferes and let's say monitors and governs the decision taken by the AI system, that's not going to be relevant. We need to have probably better concept, but involving the same idea of human in the loop, but in a different way. So we are going to have to think exponentially more advanced, because quantum computing is going to change the game when it comes to AI systems.
Right. Yeah, I can see the future, I think, now that you actually paint a picture. But it's scary, I would say, because if AI decisions can be made in a split second, as you say, decisions will be made here and there, and I'm sure there will be a lot of backlash. So, how is governance going to be part of this? Like, we talked about AI governance, but we didn't talk about AI powered by quantum computing. So, let's step into the future and see what you have to say about this.
Well, I'm one part of it is it's concerning, given the rapid pace of developments. However, I'm hopeful that we humans will lead the race. It's
Okay.
not going to be an apocalyptic scenario where AI systems powered by quantum are going to take over the planet and all that. Although there are certain experts who believe and have concerns, however, I believe that we will lead the whole development, because at the end of the day, I still believe that AI, the I in AI is not still completely justified,
Okay. Okay.
right? It is artificial, yes. Is it intelligent? I don't think so at the moment,
Yeah, yeah.
until we have AGI and ASI and all that
Right,
concept.
right.
So, and I've been talking to some of my peers, and we all agree on one thing, that the I in AI is still not fully justified.
Okay,
It's
okay.
kind of sitting there uneasy, but the only only humans have the intelligence, and not just the intelligence, but the empathy
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
compassion and the human element, being able to look at a scenario and be able to take that decision, or to take that step towards making sure that humans are or kept and they benefit from the whole technology revolution. After all, why do we need all these technologies? At the end of the day, we want to make human lives better,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I'm very hopeful that there will be checks and balances in place. There will be regulations, there will be governance policies, and there's going to be consortiums of the big players involved who will come together to make sure that AI and quantum doesn't harm the human race.
Yeah, let's hope that is the case. Perfect. So, beyond IT, beyond enterprises, what else do you look forward to in the future in terms of technology? Like, what else are you looking or are you excited about right now?
I'm excited about the concept of AI health advisors,
Okay.
those who actually are able to monitor the bodies and the human bodies data points, and everything from metabolism and all metabolic rate and all that metrics,
Mm-hmm.
and then suggest things,
Okay.
right, from diet to exercise to all
Right.
that. That's one area that I'm following closely.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think it's quite reliable at the moment?
At the moment, it's a developing area.
Okay.
It's not that reliable as things stand, but we could, given the fact that AI development is happening
Right.
really rapid,
Yeah.
we could
Yeah.
have that really meaningful assistant.
Perfect. Interesting. Interesting. So, towards the end, like, what would be that one feedback that you would give to organizations out there who want to incorporate all of this, like AI, quantum computing, AI powered quantum computing? So, what's that one feedback that you would like to give everybody watching this episode?
I would say focus on governance.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that your adoption of the emerging technologies does not impede or disrupt either your business or your brand image or the stakeholders who are involved.
Right.
Most importantly, the human beings who are involved. No technology is worth it if it results in a set of human beings, whether it's a social group or whether it is a certain class of individuals are being impacted.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think governance with a huge focus on ethics
Hmm.
and people values, I think that's what I would recommend.
Perfect. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. That's pretty much my questions. But if you have any more questions, you can always drop them in the comments and I'll make sure to ask Vijay about those. So, yeah, it was lovely chatting with you, Vijay. And I learned a lot in terms of governance, AI, and the scary part of quantum computing, I would call it. But let's hope it's not that. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vijay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah,
It was
it was a
lovely
pleasure.
interacting with you. So thank you.
Same here. Likewise. Yeah.